We are here for the Balvenie 12-year-old double wood. It is a single malt from Banffshire. It is a sherry cask finish, 40%. A bit of interesting stuff going on with this whiskey that I'll tell you about. What was his name? David Stewart. Yeah, some cool stuff about him. This got an 81.85 out of 1,655 votes on Whiskey Base. So a little bit lower of a score for what we're used to, of course, for what we drink. However, I've had the... Do I still have it? Yeah, I don't know if you can see it. I'm going to get it. The Balvenie 14 Caribbean casks. I've had this guy. I did a tasting with it, but it was before I made the videos. So I did a tasting video, but not like the structure that I have now. I love this. This is probably one of my favorites. Top 3 easily. So good. I'm very curious what kind of score that has, actually. But yeah, today we're going to be doing the Balvenie 12 Double Wood. Actually, so David Stewart, and go ahead, pour yourself while I yap away. David Stewart, MBE. Actually, so he is the master. He's the malt master for Balvenie, and he's been around for like 50, 60 years or something insane. He was directed the MBE, which stands for the Excellent Order of the British Empire, given to him by the Queen herself for all the contributions he's made to the whiskey industry. Really amazing stuff. I mean, good for him. Kicking butt in the whiskey world, of course. And I think he's actually up for... Oh, man, what was it? Now, I apologize. I don't remember. But he was up for some other type of award or some type of retirement ceremony or something like that. Oh, look at the color on that. That is nice. That is really nice. Beautiful. Yeah, Balvenie is such a good name, of course. But what I was getting at... as for this whiskey, so this is aged, and this is his system. This whiskey is aged for 12 years in whiskey casks. Then it is aged in, as well as American oak ex-bourbon casks and hogsheads, it's called. And I'll explain what those are to you a bit later. Then it's moved for the last 9 months to Spanish sherry Oloroso sherry casks. And that's probably where it gets that nice little color in it. Just that extra hint of gold, like that wonderful gold it has there. And obviously the sherry taste that we're probably going to experience in this, of course, if it's aged in sherry, right? Everything's working. Okay. Go ahead and give it a smell. So what I've actually learned, or what I've been learning, and it varies for everybody. And I see these whiskey connoisseurs or sommeliers, whatever you want to call them, and everybody does everything different. I don't think there is a correct way to do it like there is in the wine world. And I could be wrong, and I probably am wrong. But everything that I've learned so far is the experience in which you take it yourself. So, you can smell it from this far away or in close. But what I'm coming to learn about smelling the whiskeys is that you want to do it quick. And you want to pull what you can from at the very beginning. So what I'm going to challenge you to do, if you haven't already done it yet, is I want you to pull one thing, the first thing that comes to your mind. I want you to go in there, go in for a sniff, however far or close that you want, and pull something. Say the first thing that comes to your mind. I would say sherry on that one. I got some sherry. And I got honey there, I think. But you see what happens there. So, and this is how you start. See, obviously, I'm no master melter, if you want to call it that. But this is exactly how you how you educate yourself, and sorry, how you build the muscle in your head so that you can start pulling out flavors like these master malters and these sommeliers and connoisseurs. This is how you practice it. So this is what we should be practicing with every sitting. I want you to do this. I want you to do it without me telling you to it as well, and try it yourself and pull them out. And even if, because the thing is, you always get, from what I've learned, is that you get stuck on this third or fourth ingredient, and you're like, I can't pull that out. What is that? It's driving me absolutely nuts. It reminds me of something in my childhood, and I can't figure out what it is. And then you find out later, I mention it to you, that it was actually banana or something like that. So that's what's cool about the experience as well. But the legs look really nice on it as well. So this is going to have a really nice texture. I can tell by the way it moves around. The color is absolutely gorgeous. The smell is really nice as well. I got sherry and honey. So we are going to experience sweet fruit, Oloroso sherry notes, of course, with vanilla, honey, dried fruits, yellow fruits, and some nuttiness. I really get the sherry. The sherry is so strong. Okay, let's go in for a drink. Same thing. Go into it and try and pull from that first one what you can. And remember the deep inhale at the end if you really want that the flavors to spike at the end. Balanced. I do get some kind of toffee, caramel, creamy texture for sure. I can get a little bit of nuttiness, I think. What I don't get was the dried fruits that it was saying. Yeah, dried fruit. Well, maybe because dried fruit is part of the sherry is maybe what they're talking about there. The taste isn't actually as good as I thought it was going to be from the other Balvenies that I've tried. The texture is there, I would say. I think the texture was creamy, floated around in your mouth for a bit. But what I don't like is the finish. At least for me, the finish is it's starting to expire in my palate. I feel like. It feels like it's getting worse. Like it's turning into like some kind of aftershave. I don't know. Well, because I wasn't impressed with that first one, I'm definitely going to try and switch it up. Suggest you do the same or do whatever you want. It's only 40%, so you don't have to put too much water in it, but just a little bit. Give it a swirl around, and let's retry the process. Actually, as well, so what it says for the palate, of course, for you to know. It is, and this is this is from the website. I always love when it's from the website because the adjectives are amazing. Smooth and mellow, of course, with beautifully combined flavors. That doesn't tell us anything, okay? Nutty sweetness, cinnamon spiciness. Yeah, you know what? Maybe I do get the cinnamon in there. I think I get the cinnamon for the finish. Excuse me for interrupting. And a delicately portioned layer of sherry and apricots. The apricots is not on the box, but I added it because I saw it in a few comments. Apricots. I don't know. Okay, let's try it with some water. The nose gets a bit more complex, a little deeper. I get yeah, I get the sherry, but it's stronger. It's like a harsh cherry or something. Okay. I also get after the breath, yeah, I get some toffee, some caramels, but it's not very deep. It's not very complex. It's a very simple whiskey, I think. Probably why on the box it doesn't say much other than cinnamon spices, sherry, and nuttiness. I think I experience all those three things because it's such a simple liquor. It's fine to drink. I don't think I would ever buy it again. Sorry. Balvenie, I love you. You have one of my favorite whiskeys, but this one just isn't the one, I think. I'm going to try it actually first with a caramel because... Do I have my knife? Where is my knife? Oh, I guess I don't have my knife. That's okay. I'll just take a bite of this. I think the caramels might help to pull out a bit more flavor. Not expecting a lot here. One of these is nutted too, so if you can find the one with the nuts in it, get nuts and caramel, it should pull it out nice. Yeah, that is actually it's nice. It's not amazing, but it's this is actually I think the perfect fit because it's also has nuts in it and the caramel, so it can help with pulling out the flavors in here that are quite minuscule. Sherry is definitely the strongest flavor in this, which is nice. I mean, everybody loves sherry. It adds a lot of it adds a lot of character to it. But let's try it with some ice. Oh, and I will finish up with the hogshead. So, the hogshead is actually originally derives from the 15th century term, hogus heda. It's actually a unit of measurement that was 63, so that's why they call it hogshead. It's just basically like, I think, a different type of barrel, if I'm correct. I tried to look it up before I started this, but I couldn't, unfortunately. But basically, why they use that is because it's a smaller version of a barrel, I think. It's a unit of measurement equivalent to 63 gallons, which is considerably larger than a modern-day hogshead, which is officially 54 imperial gallons. A standard British brewing industry measure and barrel size. Guys, I completely screwed up this hogshead lesson for the day. I'm really sorry. But my internet wasn't working, so I just said kind of screw it, I'll just go with the flow, but I bombed it. Interesting fact, while we're finishing up, I'll keep it kind of interesting. So Sir Nikola Tesla actually drank whiskey every day because he thought that it would make him live for 150 years. Dead wrong, quite literally. On the ice, is it any better? No. No. I'm going to have to give this less than an 81.55. I'm going to give this an 80 on the head. Not very happy with it. Good with the pairing. Better. Best leave it alone by itself. All right, that's it, guys. Sorry for the lesson. Thanks. Ciao.